Hello everybody, my name is Nick. I'm an Honors Ambassador here at ACC. This week we're celebrating our International Festival, and so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my home country, Canada. So Canada is known for a few things, namely its frigid climate, its French dialect known as Québécois, its beautiful green spaces and the plants and animals that live in them, and its healthcare system. As many of you probably know, Canada's healthcare system is socialized, meaning it's a federal program that's funded by the people. Now, Canadians don't pay a flat rate for their healthcare. Instead, they pay a percentage of their income through their taxes. And this rate is proportional for each Canadian based on the amount of money they make per year. So since the tax is proportional to everyone's income, people in lower income households may pay only a couple $100s a year for healthcare, whereas some of Canada's top earners, like the top 10%, will be paying upwards of $30,000 or $40,000 a year. And this way, like I said, everyone is able to contribute as much as they possibly can without going bankrupt. So since healthcare is bought and paid for by the Canadian people, no one really needs to worry a whole lot about funding their next hospital trip or even their next visit to the ER, because the programs in place will take care of that charge for them. There are some occasions where the socialized healthcare isn't necessarily adequate for the kind of treatment they need, and at that point they may go to a private specialist, but for the most part, for general healthcare, no one has to worry a whole lot about going out of pocket. Now, as you've likely noticed, the Canadian government tends to take a pretty active role in the lives of its citizens, especially when it comes to maintaining their health. And because of this interest, the government was pretty well equipped to deal with the pandemic early on and really slow the spread. However, the government also decided to close the borders to prevent people who weren't Canadian citizens or related to Canadian citizens from entering the country. And this was an effort to, again, to slow the spread and prevent infected persons from entering the country. Additionally, before anyone can enter the country, they have to submit a detailed quarantine plan to the government. And this plan must include detailed plans for how they're going to secure food, water, shelter, healthcare, and transportation to and from the airport upon their arrival into the country. And they have to maintain this plan for 14 days. Now, the Canadian government really doubled down on the importance of these quarantine plans by implementing strict punishments for anyone who might break those plans. For instance, anyone who breaks their quarantine plan early can be subjected to 1 year in prison, a $750,000 fine, and may be kicked out of the country and barred from re-entering for about a year. While this may seem harsh, Canadians are seeing a decrease in the number of confirmed cases and deaths resulting from COVID-19. At the time this video was made, Canada had about 124,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and of those cases, 110,000 made a full recovery. Unfortunately, of those confirmed cases, approximately 9,000 Canadians did pass away from complications resulting from COVID-19. However, the number of new cases reported daily has dropped from approximately 600 per day to just under 300 per day, and Canadians are seeing an overall decrease in new cases. Although this trend may change as we get into the colder months due to COVID-19's propensity for thriving in colder climates. Overall, Canada's socialized healthcare system has definitely come in clutch in recent months and will remain one of the greatest accomplishments of the Canadian culture for years to come.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Hi, salut, me chiamo. These are 3 of the numerous languages that are spoken in Ghana. Ghana has about 42 and counting recognized languages. Now you might be wondering, why does just one country have so many languages? Now that's because Ghana consists of different ethnicities or ethnic groups and tribes who have their different languages and different cultures. So at one point, different ethnicities, different groups migrated into Ghana. Like some came from the Ile-Ife tribe in Benin and some from the old Ghana Empire. And so they all come together and form this beautiful country called Ghana. It's a pretty diverse country. Now, if you ever find yourself in Ghana, depending on which region you find yourself, you might hear someone say, Yawabuyani, Woizo, Amaraba, or Akwaba, meaning welcome. Now, if you ever find yourself in the Greater Accra region of Ghana, where the capital is, you might hear someone say Toyate, or in the Bragahafu region, Mafafa, or even Komasava, which is just someone asking you how you are. Now, a brief introduction about me is Je m'appelle Précieux, mes zines est precious. Je suis Ghanaian, in Ghana, you fell. Now, to end this, I'd like to share one of my favorite proverbs from the Ashanti region, which is where I'm from. It says, Nyan Sanuba Kufutu, which directly translated means knowledge does not reside in one man's head. So, share where you're from, share your knowledge with us, and what are your traditions. I hope this was fun and educative and that you will enjoy the rest of this International Fest.
Hey there, Riverbats! My name is Samy, and I'm the Ambassador Coordinator of the Honors Program. I'm here to talk to you guys about my home country of Peru lies on the western coast of South America, sharing borders with Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, and Chile. Although the main language of Peru is Spanish, Peru is known to have over 90 indigenous languages. The first thing that comes to mind for many when they hear of Peru is Machu Picchu or the Incas, or maybe all of those Instagram photos of people after they've hiked Huayna Picchu. However, if you talk to Peruanos, the thing we're the most proud of is our cuisine. I guarantee you that anyone that has toured around Peru can tell you that the best part of their experience was definitely the food. It may not be obvious, but many of our dishes tell a bigger story. Like carapulca, which is a dish that is commonly found in homes and restaurants all over the country. Carapulca dates back to the Incan Empire as probably one of the most ancient dishes you can find in the country. However, one of the biggest influences in Peruvian cuisine has to be the immigration of Chinese laborers that came in the late 1800s. Their first wave of Chinese laborers came in 1849. By the end of all those immigrations, there was something like 100 to 200,000 Chinese that immigrated to Peru. Their influence changed all we know about Peruvian cuisine. This is how chifa was born. Chifa is a culinary tradition that originated in Peru. It's a style of cooking based on Chinese Cantonese elements fused with traditional Peruvian ingredients. The term chifa is also used to describe the type of restaurant where this food is served. The first chifa restaurants were opened in Lima in the 1920s in Lima's Chinatown, known as Barrio Chino. Today, there are thousands of chifa restaurants across all districts of Lima, and many more throughout other cities of Peru. Today, Peruanos consider chifa to be an integral part of the Peruvian identity. The most famous chifa dishes are chaufa, tallarín saltado, and lomo saltado. Chaufa is a Cantonese-style fried rice, in which the Asian elements stay the same, but Peruvian peppers are included to add a little punch. Tallarín saltado is the chifa spin on a chow mein. Tomatoes and peppers have been added, making it a comfort food for many Peruanos. By far, the most famous and beloved chifa dish is lomo saltado. It's a stir-fry that has incorporated the ají amarillo and potatoes characteristic to all Peruvian food. The blending of Chinese culinary culture into the Peruvian gastronomic identity reflects the welcoming warmth of the Peruvian people and the beauty that can be created when we welcome strangers into our community.
Thank you for tuning in and stay safe out.
Yeah, baraka. Au revoir.